Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. Today my inspiration piece is the work of Georges Braque. I am quoting from Wikipedia. Georges Braque, French, born May 13, 1882, and he lived until August 31st, 1963. Now, Georges Braque was a major 20th century French painter. He was a collagist, a draftsman, a printmaker, and a sculptor. And his most notable contributions were his alliance with Fauvism from 1905 and the role he played in the development of Cubism. Now, Braque's work between 1908 and 1912 is closely associated with that of his colleague, Pablo Picasso. Their respective Cubist works were indistinguishable for many years, yet the quiet nature of Braque was partially eclipsed by the fame and notoriety of Picasso. I have here some images of birds, and what Georges Braque did is take the image of a bird and strip it down to its simplest form. And I have here a series of prints and paintings of birds, and you can see the gradual transformation of a bird form reduced to geometric shapes. And I'm going to do the same. I was very much inspired by a lot of his work, and today I will do a homage to him, doing a scheme based on birds. Okay, so here is a printout of a bird which I had used in my previous video, and I'm going to use my Sharpie here, reduce it to its simpler form. So I'm going to just like so. So it becomes like a modified X, and I can just play with this shape and make an infinite variations. Like so. And so you have the idea, and not just simplifying the shape, but also varying the sizes. So I will have larger sizes and gradually making them smaller and smaller so I can arrange them in a composition. They will still be vaguely recognizable as birds, but at first glance it will be just a series of geometric shapes. So it will be a fun exercise in abstraction. And this is really how you reduce a recognizable object into an abstract form. So I will just keep going, and I will be back when I have all my shapes ready. Okay, here we are at the next step. I have my shapes ready. You can see they're quite simple. And I have here 4 pieces of cardstock. Now I don't want to use this because this is just copy paper and this will surely fall apart when I use it as a stencil. So I'm just going to assemble the shapes, kind of lay them out roughly on my cardstock. So what I want to do is make a combination of big shapes and small shapes. And this is just freehand. I'm not trying to be too exact because these will be cut out. That's a good start. I don't want it to get too complicated yet because this is just the first layer. So this is my cutting board. So I'm just going to cut these out with my razor blade. And the nice thing about this is I can make them as straight or as curved as I want because they are fairly random shapes. And I am saving these. These will come in handy for some other purpose. So to break the monotony of the straight lines, I do curved. And that's what I do to create some kind of visual contrast. When you don't stick to just one type of line. You do curved lines, straight lines, short lines, and long lines. And it's more interesting to look at. There we go. And one more. This is the last bird with the first layer. There. So that's, I consider that the scaffolding or the skeleton of this composition. You have big shapes and then smaller shapes. So I will continue on to the next step, which is to start applying acrylic paint to this stencil. Now, if I did that on copy paper, this would curl up and fall apart. So I don't use copy paper as a stencil. So in the meantime, before I proceed, I would like to present some more of some very talented viewers who have submitted their artwork to share with everybody. So enjoy. I hope you enjoyed that short intermission, and I really appreciate all you viewers who have submitted their photos of their art to share with everyone. It just shows the wide range and different styles of creativity. So this is my favorite Mars Black Paint. So I don't need to put too much. And let's see, this time instead of a brayer, I'm going to use my brush to carefully spread it out. I'm trying to get rid of the high spots and spread it out as evenly as I can, but I do want to leave some brush marks on purpose. And then I will let the cardstock absorb the excess. Okay. So this is the tricky part where I have to be very careful. And maybe when this gets dry, I can reuse it for something else. Maybe use a different color. There we go. So I'm going to air dry this and move on to the next step. Okay, here we are at the next step. This has dried very well. It's been about actually almost 20 minutes. And I had this idea of using these as masks. Because why not? So these shapes will be masks. They will come out as white. And I think it would be an interesting experiment to do overlaps. Okay. No, what? One more. Let's see. So what I will do is create these bands of color that suggest a sky. So I have my Lucas here, turquoise deep. This is fluorescent blue. And maybe for some contrast I will put, well, maybe I changed my mind. Maybe I will use some iridescent white. Now this is a different brand. This is Soho Acrylic Iridescent White. So I will start with the iridescent white. This is very thick, so I'm just going to use kind of to suggest clouds. just going to have to scoop out the paint with a stick. So the idea is to create different shades of blue. And then the rest be fluorescent blue. Now I have no idea what the final result will be. And that's why I consider this as an experiment. And that's the exciting thing about printmaking. Okay, so I will do horizontal strokes left to right. I'm not pressing too hard because I don't want to dislocate the masks. And since the paint is of different densities, there will be some different textures as a result. Okay. Just have to tidy this up. Let me just wipe the excess of the edge. Okay. So again, I will allow this to dry a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do an experiment with matte medium. This has no color. It says here translucent low gloss acrylic extender. And I'm going to use this matte medium as a pickup vehicle and see. Hopefully it can pick up everything, the black, the blue, in one shot. This may or may not work, but I won't know until I try. If it doesn't work, I'll just scratch it up for experience. Being very careful so I don't smear. Now that's what I like about the Gelli Plate, is it allows you to do layers of paint. And if you do it properly, you can layer and not disturb the layer underneath. Okay, so keeping my fingers crossed, I will see if this will pick up everything. Again, I am using my watercolor paper, 22 by 30, 88 pound. This is Richardson. And I'm using the smooth side. Now, since this is kind of an ambitious effort, I'm going to let this sit a little longer than 5 minutes, because I'm hoping that the matte medium will pick up everything. All right, it's been maybe like 8-10 minutes. I had a chance to do the dishes, and a nice side effect is it gets my fingers clean. So anyway, this is exciting. I hope this works. So I don't remember using this matte medium as a pickup vehicle. This is when you want to pick up without adding extra color. And so far so good. I think seeing the corner is a good sign, as I see black birds and white birds. Oh, I'm very happy about this. It's better than I thought. And when you do some experiments like this, it's good to approach it with an open mind and not get all upset if it doesn't work. There's some blobs of paint. That's unavoidable because different brands have different densities. All right, check this out. I'm beyond pleased with this because I wasn't expecting too much. So anyway, I will air dry this and then do a recap and show you a close-up. Okay, here's my favorite part of this video. This has dried very nicely, and I can show you a close-up. You can see the brush strokes of the black, and the Soho iridescent white really has a pearlescent shine. You know, when I change the angle, it has a shimmering effect. And since I used a colorless pickup vehicle, the white masks remain white. So there's a nice contrast between the white and the black. Even the slight residue of past paint gives it a little interest. So I will put this to one side and put the work of Georges Braque on the other side, just to give a comparison to the inspiration piece. Now, it's not a particular inspiration piece, but it's more like a summary of all the other birds that he had done, just to show the way he reduces the shape of a figurative bird into abstraction. So I hope you liked this video. I had a lot of fun doing this, and it's a little bit of art history, a little bit of art technique, and I'm glad that we have so many talented viewers continuously submitting their artwork to share with everybody. So thank you again. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Please pay a visit to artwhisper88.com. The pieces I produce during filming are for sale. Within the United States, it's free shipping. All the proceeds go to help keep this channel going. So thank you, and I hope to see you next time.